Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Out here outside again. We had 2 days, well, one full day of rain. It rained all day yesterday and it's been raining today, but we got a good soaking and everything's starting to clear out. Going to get some cooler temperatures, cooler for South Alabama anyway. I think we're supposed to be in the maybe mid 50s, upper 50s later this week, but it's cold for somebody living in Costa Rica. Anyhow, going to talk about greens today. Now you guys know I'm always talking about greens. I'm always recommending greens. I'm always trying to get in more greens into my diet. I was looking at something because I've been buying these big bags of kale, and it kind of made me think. All right, I hear people say recommend different amounts that we should get daily of greens. But I've heard a lot of people settle on a pound of greens a day. Now this, if you can see scale, if you know how big my head is, this is a bag of greens. This is a 1 pound bag of greens right here. Now I've never had it in this perspective before, but this is huge. And I've been noticing since I've been here and pull it, because you know it's easier to measure and see exactly what I'm doing. I mean, as I'm pulling handfuls out of here, I'm not making a dent in the bag. So I think what I'm getting at here is I'm probably not, even though I'm always diligent and I'm always trying to eat greens, and I do eat greens every day, I just still don't think I'm getting enough. And that's just for me, but I do believe in the power of the greens, and I believe the greens are a huge important part of this lifestyle. And you know what, reading this book I'm reading right now by T. Colin Campbell, Whole, is like the name Whole of the book. It's given me more of a different process on this. I'm not looking at the greens because of the specific components, you know, like okay, yes, they have that's where we get a good source of calcium, or we do get calcium there, although we still have to get calcium from plenty of other sources. I don't think we'd ever get all our calcium from greens unless we just woke up and ate from morning to night. You know, and there's protein in the greens. It's good for our eyesight. There's fiber in there. They're good for getting rid of, really good for detoxing your body, because when those fibers bind to a lot of the toxins and a lot of the heavy metals and a lot of the gunk in your body. But the particulars aren't the reason. I just always kind of feel there's kind of it works in a synergy, the fruit and the greens. It's just like, I don't know. I just noticed the overall health effect of it when I'm eating lots of greens. I just feel, you know, sometimes, and that frustrates me because I can't put things into words. I just have to go all over and over and over on how I feel. Reminds me of a line from a Bob Marley song, "Who feels it knows it, Lord." So I feel it. There's things I feel sometimes that I don't necessarily know the science. I don't know the why behind it, but I don't trust. I mean, I don't question how I feel about something, and I just know that you know, I'm thriving when I get the greens. So I'm knowing that, you know, looking at this, I'm having a hard time thinking that I'm getting a pound of greens in a day. And I've even noticed this before, even on my good days, it's just so hard. You know, I'm not a gorilla. I don't hang out in a tree and just eat leaves all day, although I wish I could. But there's just, you know, it's almost like to get all the greens that you really need, I feel like I always have to be eating, or I always should be eating, and that's just not practical. I mean, I'm not going to stop my life just to sit around and eat greens all day. So I was doing it for a little while, and I think I talked about it. This has been earlier in the year. I bought a green powder, and it was a good green powder, good quality, but you know, I just started using it in the amounts that it recommended. Even using the lower end of the amounts they recommended, it was just going to be expensive to do it on a everyday basis. So I kind of, you know, I used the rest of it, or I used it when I was low on greens. I still have a little bit left, but you know, that never really took, because I just saw it wasn't going to be a practical thing for me. I couldn't afford to do it on a regular basis. So not too long ago, Tanny Raw was doing a video, or some subject came up, and I asked her again, like, what was the one, the green powder she uses, and she told me, and I've looked it up today on Amazon. I don't think I'm going to be able to order it this trip, because you know, I pretty much maxed out on, I bought a new yoga mat, and I bought loaded up on spirulina, but from the day I leave to go back to Costa Rica. I'll be back here in the States in about 6 weeks, so I'm going to get some then. But I'm looking at Vimergy, Vimergy. And like I say, Danny Rawl recommended this to me. I looked it up. They have both concentrated barley grass and concentrated wheatgrass. Concentrated barley grass juice extract in a powder form. So this one you only have to use 2 teaspoons. It's $50 for 8.8 ounces, and I'm going to give that one a try. And just, you know, I've read some reviews on it. I hear other people talking about it, and you know, Tanny's one of my trusted sources. One of the few people, you know, you guys probably think I'm a little bit of a prick sometime because I jab or I just don't listen to too many people, but she's one that I do listen to. So I'm going to give that an order and get it over the holidays while I'm here in the States, and just try to up my greens a little bit more. And hey, for, like I'll always say, for y'all out there, like anytime there's always every once in a while you'll mention online supplementation, and the just absolute angry people come out wanting to write a book to you telling why you don't need to do any of that stuff, why you don't need to supplement, everything's in nature. God bless you. Get it how you want to get it, but I know that I want more greens to get more of the feeling that I currently have in my life. And I want to be regular with that. Like I say, you know, my life is when I say my life is chaotic, it doesn't mean like I'm busy or I have a lot of obligations. It's just like I'm kind of scattered. So in my day-to-day, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be, if I'm going to be around the house to be preparing food or eating food regularly all day or what. So I just want to figure out a way to get the greens, the amount of greens I need on a regular basis all the time, and just, you know, kind of see the progress on that after being really diligent on it. Because I mean, I've gotten a lot of good results, I believe, from adding the greens in this year, but now it's time to just really pay attention, really focus, and get as much as I need. So yeah, that's it. And like I say, it puts it in perspective. Now don't get me wrong, when I said a minute ago that this isn't like, I'm looking at how much I'm pulling out, and I'm pulling out a couple of big handfuls for each smoothie. And I still have one of these bags like 3 or 4 days later. But also, that's not my only source of greens. You know, I'm eating salads at night. I'm eating a lot of greens, packing them in there. But the bottom line is I know I'm not getting as much as I would like to get. Anyhow, that's just me. Those are my smoothies. Those are the things that I'm rocking on right now. And I know, I can't explain it. I don't, you know, don't ask me the why behind it, but I just know it works. I need my greens and I need my spirulina. When I'm consistently getting my greens, my spirulina, and adding my seeds to my smoothies, I can just feel a whole different level of energy. I feel the workouts are completely different when I'm operating on all cylinders with that, and I'm getting those components in. So, like I said, just a little bit, just, you know, touching on the one yesterday. It's just always about plugging in holes, and sometimes it's not even plugging in a hole, but it's just, you know, trying something new, you know, tweaking, tick, 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 until you get that exact formula. That's what scientists do in a laboratory. They play around with the formula. That's all I'm really doing, is just playing around with my formula, and my formula is leading me to even more greens. If you're eating this high fruit diet, I did that for a long time without the greens, and it's just kind of hard for me to really explain, but it harnessed that energy. The greens kind of harnessed that energy, because when I was just, you know, I was going high fruit and not the greens, especially last year, I would drink, sometimes I'd drink, and I know there was no fiber in that, so it's not a super fair comparison to eating just whole foods like bananas. But when I was drinking like 64 ounces of orange juice, I was just like, you know, flying almost, and I needed something. But even when I'm just eating whole fruits, even if I'm just eating lots of bananas and mangoes or whatever, and not balancing them out with those greens, I just feel like my energy's kind of scattered. And it's like, you know, the greens just kind of give me control of that energy. I still have the energy, I just have more focused control of it. Anyhow, hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and hope you're having a fantastic week. I love you guys. Peace.